So I recently finished 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Burkeman, and it's safe to say my mind has been blown. If you are anywhere near as bad of a procrastinator as I am, you probably let a lot of stuff that doesn't matter to you take up a lot of your time. In that spirit, here's a screenshot of everything you'll learn in today's video. Even if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, I just want to make sure this information reaches you. But hey, a like and subscribe before you go would help me connect with someone else and would be much appreciated. So let's dive in. I have read well over 50 books in the self-help, self-improvement, and wellness category, and when it comes to time management, it's safe to say this book takes the cake. Only a handful of books come along every decade that offer this kind of wisdom. Reading this book has already helped me change my relationship with procrastination, and almost instantaneously made me better at managing my time. I say all this to strongly encourage you to pick up a copy. I have a link in the description and you'll be better off for having read it. Stick around to hear some of the key insights from this book and how you can apply them to your life. We are finite mortals. One theme this book keeps coming back to is our finitude, or the state of having limits or bounds. To put it bluntly, time is relevant for us humans because we are all mortals. Our time is limited. We are all going to die. The book argues that since our time is finite, we should contemplate our death because it will help us to prioritize what matters in life. The book does such a wonderful job of explaining why we feel certain things in relation to time. And one fascinating emotion it links to our relationship with time is boredom. Oliver Burkeman says boredom is an intense reaction to the deeply uncomfortable feeling of confronting your finitude and limited control. The problem is our society rarely confronts its finitude when it manifests as boredom, because we are so keen to alleviate our boredom with distractions. And modern technology has made that avoidance response easier and more effective than ever. This ecosystem of finitude avoidance, then the feeling of boredom, and then distracting ourselves from that boredom has made us very good at dedicating a lot of time to stuff we don't give a damn about. Basically, it all boils down to screens. Our phones, social media, television, Netflix, YouTube, whatever. Feeling bored is being obliged to deal with how your experience is unfolding at this moment. To not check your phone or hop on social media when you're bored is to resign yourself to the reality that this is it. This is my life at this moment. Awareness of this and acceptance of this is the solution. Lean in when you feel bored and don't try to make the feeling go away. Don't reach for your phone. Don't crave for things to be different, because as we've discussed in past videos, one who does not crave cannot suffer. Get good at this and you'll find yourself dedicating a lot less time to things you don't care about. What is time management? The book makes a profound but very simple case for what time management is by framing it in the context of procrastination. Procrastination being the action of delaying or postponing something. So Burkeman claims skillful time management is merely learning to procrastinate well. Which begs the question, how do we procrastinate well? Firstly, we must confront the uncomfortable truth that our time is in fact limited. Secondly, we then have to decide what we are going to do with that limited time. In other words, we have to decide what matters to us. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, once we have decided what matters, we need to actively avoid everything else. I love the phrase actively avoid. Being a good procrastinator means actively avoiding a lot of stuff and being diligent about it. It means saying no to a lot more stuff than you are comfortable with, because deep down you know on the other side of that discomfort is something you truly want to prioritize. Key principles for using your time wisely. Principle 1. Pay yourself first. Do your most valued tasks first, then take care of the unimportant things, not the other way around. If you do it the other way around, you will often find that there isn't enough time left over for what you value. This principle is borrowed from financial wisdom for good reason. It works. Principle 2, limit your work in progress. By initiating a large number of projects at once, we are resisting the truth about our finite time. The hard truth you and I need to face is we'll never get everything done. Acknowledging this lets you be more selective and forces you to choose what you're actually going to aim for. Burkeman encourages us to limit ourselves to having no more than 3 in-progress tasks at a time. You get 3 slots. One can't open unless a slot gets completed or abandoned. It's not an effort to force us to finish everything, but to banish the back burner from our lives for good. Principle 3, resist the allure of middling priorities. So let's say you have 10 goals or things you want to get done. First, rank them in order of importance. Then place all of your focus on 1 through 5. Then don't just forget about 6 through 10, actively avoid 6 through 10. We have to acknowledge that since our time is limited, 6 through 10 are simply distractions from 1 through 5. Let's be real with each other for a second. Can you honestly think of a time in your life when you had 10 goals and effectively managed them all at once? Remember, focus is not just what you choose to do, it's what you consciously choose not to do. In a world of endless possibilities for distraction, focus has almost become more about what you choose not to do. 4,000 Weeks has made me realize that time management is not a process of addition. It isn't about adding the right calendar software, to-do list methodology, spreadsheet, Pomodoro technique, or productivity app to your life. Time management is a process of subtraction. It's about realizing that our lives boil down to the time that we have left. We need to choose what we are going to do with that time and eliminate everything else. A great question the book offers to help you determine what truly matters to you and what you should do with your time is, does this enlarge me or does this diminish me? Ask yourself this question repeatedly when you are deciding where to eliminate distractions. Trust me when I say this process of elimination doesn't just leave more time for what you care about. It leaves more room for peace, joy, and less anxiety. These principles have already transformed how I spend my time, and they're just the beginning of what 4,000 Weeks has to offer. So if you're ready to confront your limits, focus on what matters, and live life more fully, I highly recommend picking up a copy. I have a link in the description. I blend physical fitness, mental health strategies, and spiritual principles to help you overcome anxiety and lead a more fulfilling life. You can think of me like your personal trainer for anxiety. I have anxiety too. We can connect, I can coach you, and I look forward to getting to know you and walking this path together. So if you are struggling with anxiety, take the first step and reach out to me at care@brentlab.com. Remember, the bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Stay strong and keep experimenting.